growing up, New Year's was never a big holiday for me. My family never really hosted a party or anything, so my New Year's Eve tended to be me just watching TV until the clock struck midnight, and then it was off to bed. This continued into high school. By that point, I was tired of doing nothing on New Year's, but I didn't really have many friends, so there weren't a whole lot of options. It was my senior year of high school when I finally got invited to a New Year's Eve party. The invite came from Jake, one of my teammates on the track team. We talked a lot during practices and stuff, but had never hung out outside of school, which is why I was surprised when he texted me the invite. I tried playing it cool, even though I was really excited to finally be doing something on New Year's. He told me it was just going to be a house party with a lot of kids from our school and a few out-of-towners. I replied, saying it sounded good and I'd see him in a few days. New Year's Eve came and Jake picked me up around 9 p.m. There were a few other guys in the car that I recognized but had never actually talked to. We just made small talk on the way to the party, and one of the guys asked me if I was going to try and find a girl at this party to kiss at midnight, and I jokingly said, "We'll see what happens." We eventually arrived at our destination. The first thing I noticed was the party was quite large, with a ton of cars parked in the driveway and along the street. I had always been an introvert, so being around a ton of people was not really my thing, but I just kept reminding myself this was way better than sitting home and doing nothing. At first, I was pretty uncomfortable being around a huge crowd, but I eventually calmed my nerves and started having some fun. I was dancing along to music with everyone else when I noticed this girl looking at me. Jake eventually noticed it too. "Hey man, that girl keeps looking at you. You should go talk to her," he said. "I don't know, man. She might have been looking at someone else," I said. "Dude, she was definitely looking at you. Just go talk to her. What you gotta lose," Jake said. "Fine, I will," I said. I started to head over to her but realized she wasn't there anymore. I turned back toward Jake. "Hey man, that girl is gone. Did you see where she went?" I asked. "No, sorry. I'm sure she'll be back. Probably just went to the bathroom or something," he said. I decided to go grab a drink while I waited for her to come back. 20 minutes passed with no sign of her. Slightly disappointed, I headed to another room to get away from all the loudness. I checked my phone. It was almost 11. Looks like I won't be getting that New Year's kiss, I laughed to myself. I was about to head back to the party when I noticed someone else had entered the room. I looked up from my phone and I was surprised to see the girl who I thought was looking at me earlier. "What you doing in here all by yourself?" she asked. "Just needed to get away from the craziness for a bit," I said. "Yeah, I totally understand. Big parties aren't really my thing," she said. "So, did you come here by yourself?" she asked. "No, I came with a friend from school," I said. "Oh, cool. I came here with my friend and her boyfriend, but they've been doing their own thing." "My name's Amanda, by the way," she said. For the next 15 minutes, we talked. She told me she was from a town an hour away, which is why I'd never seen her around. Eventually, I asked her if she wanted to dance, and she said yes. When we started dancing, I checked the time. It read 11:20. Things continued as normal until about 10 minutes till midnight. That's when I noticed Amanda started acting really nervous. "Are you okay?" I asked. "Yeah, I'm fine," she said. But clearly she wasn't. Roughly the next 6 minutes, she kept checking her phone for the time and had a nervous look on her face. "If you're worried about the time, I'm sure everyone here will do a countdown to midnight," I said. "I know, but it has to be exact," she said. "What do you mean?" I asked. "Never mind, forget I said anything she said." I checked my phone. 2 minutes to midnight. At this point, Amanda couldn't even focus. She was looking everywhere but at me. The countdown started. People were shouting all around me, but all I could focus on was Amanda. She looked terrified. "Hey, are you sure you're all right? If you don't want to be here anymore, I won't be offended," I said. I could hear the countdown reach 10. Amanda was now staring intently at the clock on her phone. At this point, the place was going crazy. The next thing that happened was kind of a blur. As soon as the alarm on my phone went off signaling midnight, Amanda went up to me and kissed me. It happened in an instant, and then she started to leave. I moved toward her to say goodbye when I noticed she was crying. "Amanda, Are you all right? I said. I'm sorry, she said with tears in eyes. I didn't want to die. Then she ran through the crowd of people and I lost sight of her. At the time, I couldn't even comprehend what had just happened. I tried looking for her outside, but she was gone. I eventually met up with Jake and got ready to go home. He asked me how my night went, and I just said it was fun but didn't mention Amanda. The whole situation was freaking me out. The terrified look on her face and what she said. What the hell was she talking about? Did she think I was going to hurt her or something? And if she did, why would she kiss me? A few weeks went by and I just tried to forget about the whole situation. I realized I forgot to ask for her number at the party, so I couldn't even get an explanation from her. I just wanted to know if she was okay. I tried asking around to see if anyone knew here, but nobody did. Months went by and I was eventually able to move on. I started college in the fall and life was pretty normal. Then 1 month until New Year's Eve, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Amanda. She wanted to meet up with me and talk. I was so surprised but agreed. We met up on campus. I had a range of emotions when I first saw her. I was excited to see her again, but also angry thinking about the way she left me to worry about her without an explanation. Hey, she said. Listen, I'm sorry about leaving you at the party the way I did. I just felt so guilty for what I did to you. What do you mean? And why did you take so long to reach out to me? I was really worried about you for a long time afterwards. I'm sorry, but I couldn't think of a way to explain that you would believe, she said. Just tell me, I said. She paused. You've had a curse placed on you. I immediately started laughing. I'm sorry, but that's your explanation. You're right, I don't believe you. I figured you wouldn't. I didn't either when I was first told, she said. This curse, it only takes effect on New Year's Eve, at exactly midnight. The person who carries the curse must kiss someone at exactly midnight on New Year's Eve or they will die. At this point, I was more amused than anything. Go on, I said. Whoever kisses the cursed person at midnight has the curse passed on to them. The only way to get rid of it is to kiss someone else at exactly midnight on New Year's Eve. What if I decide to not go out? Is a random person going to show up at my house and kill me? I said. As long as you are inside your house at midnight, you are safe. I don't know why, but the thing, some type of demon, it can't enter your house. It can only kill you if you are away from your house at midnight and haven't kissed someone, she said. A demon that shows up to kill you if you haven't kissed someone at midnight. At this point, I was beginning to think Amanda was legitimately insane. I know you think I'm crazy, but trust me on this. If you leave your house on New Year's Eve, you must kiss someone at midnight. Please, I don't want something to happen to you, she pleaded. I wanted to take the thing as a huge practical joke, but the look on Amanda's face was the same one she had the night of the party. She looked terrified and it scared the hell out of me. New Year's Eve night arrived and Amanda's story was in the back of my mind. I wasn't going to leave my house anyways because I didn't have any plans, but I was still a little freaked out. Nothing unusual was happening. I was watching New Year's Eve parties on TV when I decided to go to the kitchen to grab a snack. That's when I noticed someone standing in my front yard staring at me. From far away, it looked like a girl. I figured it was just my imagination and I went back upstairs. I came downstairs an hour later though, and she was still standing there, in the same spot. At this point, I was completely freaked out. I was going to call the police when I realized what was really happening. Good one, Amanda, I thought, standing in my front yard on New Year's Eve to try and scare me. I headed to my front door and opened it. I started walking toward her. Okay, you got me. I was freaked out. Now come inside, it's cold as hell out here. I was 10 feet from her when I stopped. From far, it looked like a girl, but up close, I could immediately tell this thing wasn't human. Where hands should have been, there were claws, and there was just darkness where a face should have been. Out of fear, I dropped my phone, and when I went to pick it up, it read 11:59. Only 15 seconds to midnight. I immediately took off sprinting toward my house. I was almost to the door when I felt something grab me. Its claws on my leg felt like my soul was being ripped apart. I struggled to get inside. I could feel myself slipping away. I don't know if it was more adrenaline or fear, but I was able to get one last burst of energy and push my body past the door. I felt the thing let go of my leg. I immediately slammed the door shut. I started to scream out of complete shock and fear. The next day, I contacted Amanda and told her I believed her. I don't blame her for putting the curse on me. You can't blame someone for not wanting to die. I just can't bring myself to put the curse on someone else. At least, not yet. So I wait in my house on New Year's Eve. It's what I've done the past 4 years. The demon waits in my yard every New Year's, just staring, waiting for me to come outside. I know I'll eventually have to go out there on New Year's and find someone to kiss. I now understand the pain Amanda felt having to put this burden on someone else. So if you see me at a New Year's Eve party and want to avoid me, I'll understand. But I apologize in advance to whomever I end up kissing. I'm sorry, I just don't want to die. If you enjoyed tonight's tale, please click the like button and leave a comment. I'll even throw an eternal youth if you click subscribe. Also, I do have a Patreon linked in the description where there are unique perks including commercial-free access to stories, high-res versions of the artwork used in them, a personalized birthday message from yours truly, and my undying appreciation. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next story.